And welcome to Icing Huddle with Dan Jacob. I'm Dan.
And I'm Jacob. And today we're going to be talking about, week 11? Week 12?
Yeah.
I get confused with the weeks with all these bye weeks now. But happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into the podcast / stream. If you're live, hi. If you're watching this later in the week, tomorrow, maybe next week, welcome in. And we do like to ask, just to get this all started with, that if you have a question for us, please don't hesitate to ask us. We will answer you. It's easier to answer on the live than it is in the comments, but we do try to go back and, talk about those comments. If there's something you want us to talk about today in specific, please let us know. With that being said, Dan, take it away.
So, I think the first thing that we want to talk about today is the absolute shit show that was the Indiana-Penn State game.
I did not watch the highlights of that game. I almost watched them.
So we're gonna break it down.
I just know that Indiana had a crazy, very controversial catch in the very end to win that game.
Yeah. So going into halftime, it was 17-7, and then
we're matching.
Oh, kind of.
He's got gray. I got gray.
Hey, Lauren.
Mine's slightly darker gray.
So going into halftime, it was 17-7, and then Penn State comes out, scores 3, and makes it 17-10, and then they come back and take the lead in the fourth quarter, scoring 14 points. And the controversial catch, there's not a good angle for it. There's not a good angle for that catch.
But it was called a touchdown on the field.
It was called a touchdown on the field, and it's hard to overturn something like that.
Which is good for Indiana, still not great for Penn State.
Right.
But now it makes me, if anything, it makes me more confident. And if Indiana does win their next 2 games, and Ohio State wins their next 2 games, they're probably...
That's 100%.
It's probably going to be an absolute shit show for Indiana against Ohio State. Because where's the Big Ten Championship? It's always in what? Oh, I guess it's in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. Lucas Oil Field.
Stadium.
Sure.
I'm a Colts fan.
I know.
I know these things. What was the old Colts stadium called? It's the RCA Dome.
I understand why they changed it. Didn't RCA go out of business?
Yeah. I mean, they tore the RCA Dome down right after they won the Super Bowl in 2006. Maybe it was like a year after. Because I remember it was a huge deal because they were getting a new stadium and they were dropping a banner. I miss Peyton Manning.
So let's talk about the Friday game. Northwestern goes out to the Coliseum to play USC.
From what I heard, or what I looked at, it was not much of a game.
It was a pretty good game for the first 2 quarters. Going into the halftime, it was 21-14.
21-14. Yeah. I think we both had USC the whole way there.
Yeah.
My scores aren't loading.
No, you're good. First game on Saturday, Ohio State at Purdue, handling business again.
I did watch that game, and there was a few concerning things.
Go ahead. The floor is yours, Senator.
That stuck out in my mind. So, from the stat I heard while I was watching the replays is that Julian Saint had only been sacked 4 times all season. And I'm pretty sure he got sacked at least 3 times against Purdue.
We did have a offensive lineman out for this game. And we did start I believe it was a freshman. Padilla was out.
It was week 11. I was right.
Yeah. Padilla was out for Ohio State on the offensive line. So I'm going to attribute those sacks to, an underclassman not performing.
And it does happen.
Yeah.
They still won by 24, so it wasn't like the end of the world. But just there was some things that just they need to get right for next week. Because next week we'll get into that later. Oh wait, never mind. They're playing USC or USCLA. Never mind.
Next game on the list we already talked about was the Indiana Penn State game. I think, like I said, controversial catch in the end zone. Basically, as time expired. We got Texas A&M at Mizzou taking care of business, beat them by double the score. It was 38-17.
Honestly, I was kind of shocked for Texas A&M. I haven't been the biggest proponent of Texas A&M this year, but I also hate Missouri. So, one in one hand, one in the other. I'm happy Missouri lost, but I still don't think that Texas A&M has really played anybody.
That is fair.
And that was where I was going in. I thought that Missouri might have a chance. Going into next week.
Scott is right. Scott said at this point Ohio State is just toying with their opponents. I think so, and I think it's going to come down to the Michigan game, and I think Ryan Day is just going to let it all out. I think he's going to show exactly what this offense is capable of. He's going to unleash everything.
I think we saw a little bit of that in the second half of the Penn State game. Because the first half, we were just kind of messing with them. And I think it's the defense, too. I think we're just kind of like, we don't take people seriously in the first half.
Well,
and we don't.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's this because Ryan Day's on record of saying this. He is deliberately slowing the game down. Because
there was a lot of graphics that said that Ohio State it was like their fourth 5+ minute drive and it was going into halftime.
Yeah.
So I guess if the other team doesn't have the ball, they can't score.
Well, yeah. And it keeps your offensive playmakers off the field.
It also keeps your defense off the field, so when their offense goes on the field, your defense is fresh.
Yeah. So Ryan Day's slowing the game down. And he even said it. When you're going from 13 to 14 game season to a 17 game season, it makes a difference. Keeping those guys healthy through this part of the season, especially in November, late November, knowing that the college football playoffs coming up, and then some of these other fortunate teams that are going to go to bowl games, they'll be fresh. Now, do I agree with what Ryan Day's doing? To an extent.
Hey, they're winning.
They're winning, but, with this offense that we have, we should be scoring 60, 70 points a game. We have the best two wide receivers in college football in Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate.
Did he get hurt?
Yes.
I didn't. I just saw that you only had 5 fantasy points for him.
Yeah. He got banged up a little bit in the pre-warm-ups. So he didn't end up starting, but it looks like he'll be able to start this week. No. We'll go ahead. Yeah. Scott says A&M is the real deal. I think they have a potential to go to, if they beat Texas, going to the SEC championship game. I really do.
I think a lot of roads this year, especially for the SEC, go through Texas.
I really do think so too.
Like not necessarily talking about the University of Texas,
but Texas A&M.
But Texas A&M, Texas Tech. You got there's just, if there's one thing Texas is known for, it's football.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The SEC is really weird this year.
It is because the next game we're going to talk about is Alabama or LSU at Alabama, 20-9.
Yeah, that game didn't look close. I was keeping up with the score as it was going on, and got my face in that. I don't know. LSU feels, in my opinion, they feel like they've lost their identity. It's like they need a Coors Light.
Gross.
It's just there's just something missing, and it's like they don't have the normal identity of LSU. LSU has always been known for having hard-nosed defense, especially in their line, like their defensive line. They've never really been known for like their linebackers, and they've been known for their secondary.
You're right, Lauren. LSU did shit the bed.
And I think on the offensive side, they've always been known for wide receivers and like their skill position players, just in general, like wide receivers and running backs. Not so much tight ends or quarterbacks. They've had some really good quarterbacks.
Their corners have been exceptional.
But it just seems like ever since they fired Brian Kelly, they've lost this identity. And I think LSU will be back next year. My way too early prediction is I think LSU will be good next year if they get the right guy at the helm.
Fair.
Speaking of right guy at the helm, and we've been talking about it, I've been noticing a lot of comments because we're going to talk about KU game real quick where they fucking blew it again.
Think Lance Leipold's in trouble?
I'm thinking that he's on the hot seat now. I wasn't thinking it because we've been rebuilding, but we're just so inconsistent. I don't know if it's Lance Leipold. I don't know if it's Jalen Daniels. Because Jalen Daniels is having a good season.
Jalen Daniels has not produced like he did last year this year.
Last year he was out for a lot of the games.
Yeah, but with the games that he was in, 400 yards a game. He's barely breaking 150 right now. And that's total yardage. That's including his rushing.
I think it might be time to...
Here's something to think about. Should every conference champion get in, or should it be the best 12? Well, I'm going to assume that every conference champion would be one of the 4 best teams in the country, five best teams in the country.
I still think that they should, and this hear me out, this might be crazy. So there's 8, 9 conferences?
Yeah, my point is that there's not a top 12 team in the ACC.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're right.
But how the rules are written,
yeah,
as of right now, the Power 4 conferences, that's the ACC, SEC, Big 10, and Big 12. Whoever wins that gets an automatic bowl bid. Now, I think how originally it was supposed to be stated that was like if you win the ACC, you're a number 1 through 4 seed. I don't think that should be how it is.
No.
I think if you win your conference championship...
Well, it wasn't that way last year because wasn't number 4 team Boise State?
No, maybe.
It was Oregon, Arizona State.
Yeah.
Georgia? And Boise State?
That sounds right. I'd have to look at the bracket, but...
But yeah, no. At this point, I haven't seen a team in the ACC that actually deserves to be in the top 15.
There was a team that looked really good until they just blew apart.
Miami?
That was Miami.
Yeah. Clemson is, I'm pretty sure they're going to fire their head coach at the end of the year.
I hope. Fucking Dabo Swinney. Piece of shit.
I think Dabo Swinney probably gets fired this year. Texas?
No, Texas wasn't a 4 seed.
Nope, Texas wasn't a 4 seed.
They were... Were they?
No. Because I think the SEC team that did that because
Texas
lost to Georgia.
Texas played Arizona State.
Yeah.
And Arizona State... Maybe Arizona State wasn't.
No.
Because I know Oregon had a first-round bye, and then they got blown out by Ohio State.
So
Georgia.
It was Oregon, Arizona State, Georgia, and Boise State. Yep.
So you were right.
Yep.
Because Texas was
Texas was number 5.
Yeah, they were just out.
Yep. Texas was number 5.
And honestly, looking at it, that probably was the natty right there, them playing Ohio State. Because let's be honest. If you watch that game, Notre Dame, Ohio State, that game was not close. After like
none of their playoff games were close.
Well, Texas was.
Well, still won by 14.
Well, yeah, but that was only because they had that. Jack Sawyer had that crazy long fumble recovery for a touchdown. Other than that, it was going to be a 7-point game.
Meh.
But I think they should kind of change the rules a little bit for how the seeding goes, because I don't think it's fair to some of these other schools, and this could be where I say maybe expand it just a smidge bit more, not like, because we're already, what, a 14-team playoff? 12. I say go to 16. Go to 16, your top 8s.
You're adding an extra 1 or 2 games.
Yes, but your top 8 teams, or maybe top 6 or whatever, get a bye. And then you'd have the conference champions of, if they're not bad, like I think the conference champions from every league should have a chance in. Now, if you're like a 7-8 or 7-5 school and you're going into your conference championship and you win your conference championship and you weren't ranked all year, like let's say the MAC or something, like let's say Miami, Ohio wins their conference, they don't get in. So then it would go to the next highest in the top 25. So
yeah, like Scott just said, there'd be no bye weeks if there was 16.
I mean, maybe that's not a bad idea. Look at the
all the top 4 teams from last year.
Look at like college basketball. There's no buys.
Yeah, but college basketball isn't as physical as football is.
Well, yeah, but now you're looking at you have your first game, that's 16-8.
Mm-hmm.
You go 8-4.
Yeah,
and then that team wins, so you have 4 games that you play. And let's say between the first round, you have, like, let's say we do those first round games in the middle of the week, like a Wednesday or something. So your Wednesday, and then your next game is a Saturday. It's the next Saturday. Not like that immediate Saturday, but that next week. So you got 10 days off to recover. And then it's go like, it's all like normal from there. Now that's just my weird hypothetical.
I don't think.
Because I honestly think that the bye week does people dirty.
Well,
it's the same thing.
Considering the teams that are going to be playing first are like 3rd week of December. So nobody plays from, I think, December, the first Saturday or Monday in December until, I think, the Holiday Bowls played on December 16th or 17th or something like that. And then right after that is when the playoff game started last year, because I believe it was the 21st of December last year is when the first round of playoff games started. So
keep in mind, I'm just spitballing.
Yeah. I don't think, and this is just my opinion, I don't think there should be any automatic bids. I think that a panel of people should get together just like they do every week, and this is what we think it is. Nobody gets an automatic bid. If Ohio State is the best in the country, they should be ranked number 1. If Oregon is the second best in the country, so say Ohio State and Oregon played for the Big Ten championship game, and they were ranked number 1 and number 2, and it was a really close game. Say it was like 1 to 3 points that either team won by. That should be 1 and 2. It's not. You shouldn't drop Oregon if they lose to Ohio State by 3 to 7. That's fucking asinine. It doesn't make any sense. And I would say that, Texas and Georgia, or, an ACC team, say Miami, loses by 3, and Georgia, also loses by 3 in the SEC, everybody will be like, well, the SEC is a stronger conference. The SEC is the only a strong conference because they hype up every fucking team in the SEC at the beginning of the year. They hyped up Texas. What has fucking Texas done?
It's true.
Like, the best team in the SEC is Texas A&M. Hands down. I can't wait till they play Georgia in the fucking SEC championship game. If Ohio State had a bye last year, they don't win the championship. They were chomping at the bit to get back on the... Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you should have a bye week when it comes to that stuff. But you're gonna have a little bit of the bye week because there's the time between your championship game for the SEC, the Big 12, the ACC, and the Big 10. You're gonna have a 10 to 14 day, like, so they can try to figure out who's where, like that. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be that 10 to 14 day time span where, yeah, you know who you're going to be playing, but you also have 10 to 14 days to prepare for them, which is a little bit more than what you would have week to week. But I do understand your schedule is there all year from September all the way through November. You know each week who you're going to play. But if you think about it like this, giving teams only 10 to 14 days to prepare, I think is okay.
Yeah. But my thing, what I was getting at, is I think that, and I go with this on a lot of different sports. Oh, Chris. If you have, like, let's look at the World Series. What's the most notable one? 07? When the Red Sox played the Colorado Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
Rockies swept their series. They were 4-0, you know?
Yeah.
And the Red Sox, I believe, went to Game 7 against the Yankees. So the Red Sox were looser because they had been playing when they go to Game 1 of the World Series, and I'm pretty sure they swept the Rockies. And that's why I'm saying, I'm not always the biggest proponent of... Now, bye weeks are good. You have a bye week, that's to get healthy, because you're still playing. It's like, my favorite NFL team just went to Germany. They have a bye week this week, and then next week, the week after that, they come to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. I think that's good. Bye weeks are okay. Now, when you have an extended amount of time off in between games, I don't agree with. Because you haven't had any actual...
So even on a bye week, you're still only off 14 days, right?
Roughly.
So you end on a Sunday, and then you have that week off, and then...
You have 13 days off,
technically. You have 13 days off. It's basically 2 weeks. So, and that would be the same with the college football playoff. After the conference championship games are played, you don't wait 1 to 2 days to find out who goes where. You get in a room. Those people are already watching those games.
Naked.
Whoa. I'm not thinking you can say that on YouTube. But anyway, they're already watching the games. Have them start making their notes and opinions right then and there. Do not keep anybody past midnight. At midnight, that should be released to... that should be released to the major media outlets, and that envelope is sealed until 10 a.m. the next day, and because the Sunday selection show. And after that, the guys open the stuff at 9 o'clock and start getting all of their graphics ready for the show, and that's when everybody finds out who's where.
So again, this goes back to college basketball, in my opinion. So in college basketball, kind of like the college football playoff, The NCAA tournament for basketball is basically you don't know who is seated where. You don't know who's in your bracket. But the only thing you do know, and this is what I was getting at earlier, is did you win your conference championship?
Yeah.
If you win your conference championship, it is an automatic bid.
Not an automatic seeding,
No, it's an
but an automatic bid.
You're automatically in the tournament.
Yeah.
You could be a 16 seed that just happened to win a shit.
In a hard conference.
And you could be like in a easy conference or like not a big school like the Ivy League. Like let's say Princeton.
Yeah.
Princeton wins their conference. They win the Ivy League, and they're paired up against Duke. Number 1 seeded Duke.
Yeah.
You're like, did you really win at that point?
They went.
They went.
They went to the show. They just couldn't perform.
But then you have others. There was the first ever 1 seed to get beat? It was like 4 or 5 years ago. It was Villanova got beat.
Villanova got hammered.
It was like some Florida school?
What was it, Florida A&M?
No, it was like it wasn't Florida International, but it was
FAU? Florida Atlantic?
No, it was some weird school, but they got in and they were just like they're like, nah, fuck this. We're gonna fuck shit up. And they ended up making it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like I don't think seeding is necessarily like it doesn't matter if you're number 1, number 2, number 5, number 12, What matters, and this is what I say all the time, it's any given Saturday. You could be that number one school, and you could get blown the fuck out by a number 8 seed last year. We're going to say last year. I don't think it happened, but you never know. It could have been like 48-21 or something. I watched that to make me happy. It's like you could be that big school, you're like, hey, we're number 1. Numbers don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Numbers don't mean anything. It's just letters on a page. It's the thing that matters in sports is the heart of those players and how well they're coached. That's why upsets are a thing. That's why we love college football. Look at 06 when Michigan got beat by Appalachian State in Michigan. That shit doesn't happen very often. That's why it's an upset. I'm kind of on my own little soapbox over here. But, I don't think it should matter if you're 1, 2, or 3, or 4. What matters is who fucking wins in the end. It could be a 18-team playoff. It could be a 15, 16. None of these things matter. But at the end of the day, you get a more favorable matchup being number 1. In theory. Say you're number 1. Let's say it goes to a 16-team playoff. You're number 1, you play number 16. You statistically should be better than that 16.
Yeah.
You statistically should be better as a number 2 than that 15. Does it always end up that way? No. That's why we watch the sports. So I think the whole argument of wrap this whole weird tangent I'm on, to wrap this all up, I don't think seeding matters.
No.
I don't think that it matters if a conference champion wins, goes in and they're the number 4 seed. I think what ends of the days matters. It should be the best schools available.
Yeah.
So if it goes down to the top 12, automatic seeding, who's in the top 12, I'd be okay with that. If it goes down to how they're doing it right now, I'm still okay with that.
Okay.
Dan has the floor.
Just going down through these games. Georgia at Mississippi State takes care of business, 41-21.
Mississippi State's been weird this year.
Yeah, they're 5-5 in the SEC.
They've
been
been
one win away from bowl eligibility.
They've been playing people hard.
Yeah,
real hard.
like who was it?
They beat Arizona State.
Washington, wasn't it?
They did have a tough stretch there in the middle. They lost 4 straight games.
Tennessee, Texas A&M,
Florida, Texas,
Florida,
in overtime.
Yeah.
Beat Arkansas. It was their first SEC win, I think, in 3 years.
Oof. Okay. Then you got the Citadel traveling to Ole Miss, 49-0.
Called that.
BYU at Texas Tech.
Texas Tech absolutely just put belt to ass.
Yeah. They left battered, bruised, and broken.
That's what happens when your quarterback's number 47.
And then Oregon travels to Iowa and sneaks out a win in Kinnick.
Okay, now, call me crazy. I had Iowa winning that game.
So did I.
And if you had me choose that game, I'd still pick Iowa.
Yeah.
I think Iowa had a moral victory.
Oh, yeah, they did.
In that game.
Yeah. They were the number 9 team in the country.
Number 9 versus number 20.
So who's Oregon's only lost to?
Didn't they lose like some bull? Oh, it wasn't Penn State. It was Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana.
Lost 30-20.
So your only loss is to the number 2 team in the country who's rolling over opponents.
Except for last week.
Yeah, except for last week. Yeah. Then you got Navy at Notre Dame. Belt to ass again. Notre Dame just taking care of business. 7-2 on the year for Notre Dame. Wake Forest at Virginia.
We got our first upset of the week.
First upset of the week. Wake Forest travels in and beats Virginia 16-9. Second upset of the week.
Also
Cal,
ACC.
Yeah, also ACC. Cal travels into Louisville and beats them 29-26.
Did not see that one coming.
Third upset of the week. Or no, wait. No, that's not an upset. Auburn travels to Vanderbilt and loses by
13? 12?
No, 45-38. So, 7?
No. Is it? Yeah. So my brain math wasn't working.
And then Syracuse travels down to Miami and
28.
Beats them by Syracuse loses by 28, and then another upset. Number 23 Washington goes into Wisconsin, and Wisconsin ekes out a win 13-10.
That's just Big Ten football right there. Other notable games, we had Deion Sanders losing 29-22 to West Virginia. He was in West Virginia. We had SMU rolling over Boston College, 45-13.
Called it.
We got Missouri State, which I called this one, beating Liberty 21-17. I believe they're now bowl eligible.
Yep.
First year. And another one that I also kind of called is Delaware beat La Tech 25-24.
You did call that.
Some other games, Duke, Connecticut. Connecticut beat Duke 37-34. It is what it is. Iowa State goes to Fort Worth, I believe. Plays Texas Christian. I don't know why I said it like that. TCU beat them 20-17. We got Bill Belichick's girlfriend getting a win over Stanford.
It's not really not hard.
20-15. And then I think the Dabo Swinney maybe saved his job for the week. They beat Florida State 24-10. What happened to Florida State? Do you think there was too much hype at the beginning?
I think so. But to be fair, they did beat Alabama.
They did beat Bama. Another team that has been weird this year.
You talking about Florida?
Yeah, Florida lost to Kentucky by 31 points in Kentucky. Both schools not very impressive. I don't think either's making a bowl game. But, hey, Wildcat fans.
Good job.
Good job. Nebraska beats UCLA without Dylan Raiola. Sam Houston State gets their first win of the season over Oregon State, 21-17. And then Hawaii has continued to actually shock me. And they win their game 38-6 over San Diego State. They're 7-3. Let's go over the standings. Oh, wrong one.
Let's go over the rankings.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That just dropped yesterday morning. So at number 25, South Florida makes an appearance after being not ranked last week.
We've been ranked, unranked, ranked, unranked. It's been a roller coaster all season.
The next team that was they were not ranked last week either was James Madison.
I think they deserve it at 8-1.
Yeah, and then 7-2 Pittsburgh, not ranked last week, makes an appearance at 23. Cincinnati moves up 3 spots to 22. And Tennessee moves up 2 spots to number 21.
I'm okay with those. I think that's all deserving. Maybe
I think James Madison deserves to be ranked,
a little higher.
A little higher. Probably 22. I'd bump everybody from 22 down 1 and put James Madison up there.
Now, as the current standings go, that means James Madison would be the group of 5 team. Because they're the highest ranked group of 5 team.
Are they?
Yep.
Well, by golly, they are.
So they would, in theory, if they win out the rest of their season and win their conference championship, they would get in to the college football playoff. James Madison is also another school I think we were talking about last week that they have like one of the best records ever.
No, yeah, we've been talking about them a couple weeks this year.
Just because I think that they have like a 700 and like over 700% winning percentage since joining the big boys.
Yeah.
But they were also really good in like Division 2 or whatever it was. FCS. I get them confused. But anyway, number 20 Virginia lost. They dropped 8 spots from 12 to 20. We got Louisville, who also lost. They dropped 5 spots from 14 to 19. Michigan making a 3-step up jump from 21 to 18. USC also 3 spots up from 20 to 17. And Miami going up 2 spots from 18 to 16.
And then we have number 15, Utah, up 2 spots. Georgia Tech at 14, up 2 spots. And Vanderbilt, 13, up 2 spots. Then you got BYU down 4 spots after losing to Texas Tech.
First loss of the season.
First loss of the season for BYU at number 12.
And then number 11, they got to do number 11.
And then number 11 is Oklahoma, who stayed stagnant.
At number 10, up 3 spots, we got Texas. At number 9, up 1 spot, we got Notre Dame. Still think Rudy's a shit movie. Up 1 spot.
Them's fighting words.
I didn't like it. I just thought he was a bitch the whole time. They're just like, you're not going to play. You're not going to play. You're getting the shit beat out of you because you're short.
He was still offsides at the end, though.
Yeah, he's still offsides at the end. I thought it was a good movie. I just didn't think it was a great movie. You know?
Okay. Go ahead. Number 8.
Number 8, up 1 spot. We got Texas Tech. I think they should have jumped a little bit higher than that, personally. Down a spot, we have number 7, Oregon. And up a spot, we have number 6, Ole Miss.
I want to talk about Ole Miss after the rankings.
Okay.
So, at number 5, Georgia stayed stagnant. 4, Alabama stayed stagnant. 3, Texas A&M stayed stagnant. Number 2, Indiana stayed stagnant. And at number 1, Ohio State stayed stagnant. Top 5 did not change at all this week.
Well, none of them lost.
Right. So I want to talk about the Ole Miss Rebels for a minute. I don't necessarily think Ole Miss needs to make the SEC championship game. You're already in a solid spot at number 6. Do you ride it?
I think yes.
You just ride it, just kind of like Penn State and Ohio State did last year. Miami did, or no, Miami didn't last year, did they? That'd have been no. Arizona State fought to get in there.
They fought and they deserved it.
Yeah. I think if Ole Miss rides the rest of their schedule, you don't have to win fancy. But if you win, you're in. There's no way that they're not going to take an 11-1 Ole Miss team in the college football playoff. I'm telling you right now. I think Ole Miss has a really good shot unless something outrageous happens. I think Ole Miss could be a dark horse in the playoff.
I can see it. And especially since you have 4 SEC schools in a row.
Yeah, in a row.
3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, you got Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss.
I think Texas A&M and Alabama probably play in the SEC championship.
I do, and here's my thought on that. Right? Did Ole Miss play Georgia? I think they did.
Ole Miss, their only loss of the season was to Georgia.
So, if Georgia loses in the SEC title game, I think Ole Miss could jump them in the playoff. And you're right, Bronco. You're absolutely right. If Ole Miss rides to a playoff, Ole Miss gets a home game for their playoff game. So, I think Ole Miss has a really good shot at actually going pretty deep in the playoff. Probably Final Four.
I can see it. Now, it's all dependent about who they play and how angry that other team is. Because if you look at last year's playoff...
Yeah, but they're not going to have the bye week. They're going to go right into prepping for whoever wins the SEC title game.
And I think, again, like I said, I think the bye week is kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it was last year. Look at Oregon. Look at Georgia. Georgia loses to Notre Dame. Oregon loses to Ohio State. Tennessee loses to Ohio State.
So that being
Clemson
said,
lost.
That being said, do you think it'd be beneficial for, like, I don't know, let's say number 1 school in the nation right now, let's say Ohio State. Do you think it'd be more beneficial for them to lose a game?
No.
Do you think it'd be more beneficial for them to have a bye?
I think it would be more beneficial for them to have a bye week. You know the talent's there. Ride the talent. Biggest game in school history should be a playoff come to Oxford. Absolutely. Absolutely been saying this since the start of the year. I am on the Ole Miss Rebels bandwagon at this moment in time. They've looked really good. You guys lost to Georgia. That was a controversial game to start with. Three penalties in that game were bullshit. Let's just call a spade, right? 3 of those penalties were bullshit, and I have a feeling that a different officiating crew, that game would have went the other way.
Now, also back to the college football playoff, I think that they shouldn't have, be like, oh, hey, one of your games is the Rose Bowl. One of your games is the Orange Bowl. One of your games is the Sugar Bowl. One of your games is, what's the Fiesta Bowl? I think that...
Orange, Sugar, Fiesta, Rose, yes.
I think that they should have your first round playoffs is a home game, regardless. So, first and second round, technically. I think they should be a home game. That would be more beneficial to schools like, let's say, Ohio State is number 1, and then they have to play, like, let's say, Alabama. And Alabama has to come up to the shoe.
When it's negative 20?
When it's, like, cold as shit outside or snowing.
And you got to think about it like this, right? Tennessee, there's only one state that separates Ohio and Tennessee, and that's Kentucky, right? It's not like Tennessee hasn't played in the cold before. But the cold they played in, that was bone-chilling cold. That wasn't 32 degrees or 38 degrees. That was negative 20 degrees.
And I think they do a lot of that. That's why they play, like the Fiesta, the Orange, the Rose Bowl, and the Sugar Bowl.
It's all like fucking weather-neutral places.
It's like one's in California, one's in Arizona.
One's in Florida and one's in
Georgia.
No, the Sugar Bowl is in Louisiana.
It's in Atlanta, I thought.
The All-State Sugar Bowl? No, that's in...
Is it Louisiana?
Yeah, no, that's in...
Yeah, I'm thinking of the Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think they do that for the fans. Because they're like, no one wants to go Ohio in late December. Well, duh. I was wrong, but I got them confused.
It's played in New Orleans.
I got them confused. But I think they do that for TV and ratings. But you can't tell me that a bunch of drunk Ohio State college kids wouldn't get packed the shoe if it was negative 15 degrees outside. They're going to be there.
Shirts off and everything. Painted.
They're from Ohio. There's
so
nothing there but corn and sadness.
Bronco says, picture this. Rebels win a playoff game, then go to the Sugar Bowl. Rebel Nation will be all over that. Absolutely. What is it, 450, 500 miles down to New Orleans from Oxford? I think they travel pretty well.
Did you like that one, Chris?
Yeah. And playing in the Superdome in New Orleans, I think Ole Miss could. They could make a deep run to the playoffs. New Orleans isn't far from Oxford, man.
I think again it goes down to how well your team travels.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know if necessarily the fans have a lot to do with how your team plays, but I think it has a lot to do with stadium atmosphere.
For these bowl games, should Virginia Tech go after Lane Kiffin?
No, they wouldn't be able to get him.
You're not gonna get Lane Kiffin out of Oxford. And I'm going to tell you what, if he does, it's going to be for somebody that has a bigger name than Virginia Tech, I promise you. It's going to be a Florida. It's going to be an Alabama.
Maybe Clemson.
Oh, it would be so hard for him to stop recruiting out of the SEC.
Now, what if this goes back to last year in the podcast? What if, hypothetically expansion conference realignment kind of thing happened? Now, what if Miami or Clemson or some of those other schools went to the SEC? I think the ACC's dying, and I think they know it.
I think that they started dying as soon as they allowed Cal and Stanford to join. SMU, I don't have a problem with them joining.
SMU seems like a powerhouse.
They're a pretty good team. They were back in the 80s, and then they got them sanctions for paying players, and
which now is legal.
It's just I don't know. The only thing that makes sense to me is probably Miami and the SEC and Florida State. Put both of those in the SEC. The rivals.
But Clemson makes sense because they're in South Carolina. There's already South Carolina.
I like Clemson in the Big Ten.
See, now
if I'm being honest,
if I had to completely devolve the ACC, I'd probably have SMU in the Big 12. I'd probably have Boise. Not Boise State. My bad. Florida State in the Big 12.
Why?
Because there's already UCF.
Yeah, but
or Miami, one of those two.
I think Florida State and Miami come as a package deal.
I can see them both going.
Too big of a rivalry.
I can see them both going to the Big 12. One of those two. If it takes both of them, I could see them both going. I could see Clemson going to the SEC just because South Carolina's right there. You could start a new rivalry. I could definitely see Boise State, not Boise. I keep saying Boise State. North Carolina State, Boston College, and Syracuse going into the Big Ten. Because there's already, you have Rutgers.
So North Carolina is not going to go anywhere without Duke.
Well, North Carolina and Duke could all go to the Big Ten.
Syracuse is not going to go anywhere without Clemson because that's been a rivalry, and you can say it's not a rivalry, but it's a rivalry the last 5 years. That game has been a one-score game for the last 5 years.
No, weird shocker one I could see happening. KU leaves the Big 12 for the Big 10.
I could see that.
There's been talks about that one for a while.
Yeah, that 2021 was the last time they brought that up of KU because of the alignment. It only made sense because the Big 10 was trying to get KU and Duke from the ACC, because at that point that makes the Big 10 conference a national championship contender in basketball every year. They're not going to pull Kentucky out of the SEC. They're just not.
If you look at conferences and you look at all sports across the board, I think the only reason that KU stays in the Big 12 is because they are a basketball school. Now, it hurts saying it out loud as a KU fan and hoping that they do well in football, but KU's never going to be a football school. You might have a random year where you go to like the Orange Bowl and win that, like
10-2 and go to the Orange Bowl.
They were 11-1.
Well, after they won the bowl game, they were 11-1.
No,
weren't they 10-2?
No.
Oh.
The only loss they had was in Missouri. It was the last game of the season in Arrowhead.
Okay. I stand corrected.
But KU's not known for football. It's kind of like Duke's not known for football. It's kind of like Ohio State's not really known for basketball. But every once in a while,
07.
They just do shit. And you're just like sitting there like, what the fuck?
Well, Ohio State goes to the national championship in 07 in football and in basketball and lose to the same fucking team both times.
LSU?
Florida.
Huh?
Urban Meyer coached the Gators to a national championship against Ohio State, and then 45, 50 days later, they play for the national championship in basketball, and Florida beat them.
I did not know that.
Yep. One of the only times that one of the only few times that the same team won the national championship in basketball and in football in the same year.
It's not normally common.
It is not normally common.
Just for the sole fact of that normally when you like recruit. Meow? No. Normally when you recruit like and you have like this is before NIL money.
Yeah. Well, depends on what your team's name was.
You like let's talk about like Miami in the early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah. Going for 3 in a row.
They had arguably one of the best rosters in football ever
assembled. Kellen Winslow Jr.,
Reggie Wayne. You had Ed Reed, Ray Lewis. You had, just that team was just stacked.
Yeah.
Now, if you had to look at a team that kind of resembles those early Miami's, like the early 2000s, late 90s, Miami school, the only one I can think of that kind of sort of compares to that is Ohio State.
In recent years, the last 2 years, 3 years,
Ohio State has become wide receiver university.
And defensive back university.
It's like if you look at like all the players that they have in the NFL right now, some of the notable ones, I'd say Marvin Harrison Jr., but I think he got the short end of the stick because he plays for the fucking Cardinals. But you have like, I don't know, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah. Garrett Wilson,
Garrett Wilson.
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave can't stay healthy.
Well, yeah, but
Still, the talent's there.
the talent's there. But
Marvin Harrison Jr., the talent is there.
You think about, like, 6 out of the last 7 years, a Buckeye has won Rookie of the Year at their position.
You got, like if you look at like the defensive side, you got, Jack Sawyer plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have JT Tuimoloau. I always fuck his name up, but he plays for the Colts.
Yeah.
You have, there's all these players, and you generally see it from bigger schools, to be fair. It's like, that's why there's a lot of players in the NFL that are from, like, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Clemson.
Well, I was going to say Clemson, but in recent years,
there's still a lot.
Yeah, there's still a lot. Florida,
not as much recently. Only Florida player I can think of is AR5 for the Colts when he got hurt by a stretch band. And
historically,
weird quick aside here, I'm very happy as a Colts fan this year. I was expecting him to go into this season like
getting the first round draft pick.
We were going to be like 4-12, and we're 8-2.
Yeah.
In that last game against the Falcons in Germany. What a game. Fucking Danny Dimes did not have his good game, but we have arguably the MVP on our backfield for Jonathan Taylor. Dude went 244 for 3 touchdowns on the ground.
It's pretty impressive.
I'm very happy as a football fan this year.
So let's get into games next week. Let's just do the top 25. So we got 2 Friday night games. This could be the nail in the coffin for Dabo Swinney, when Clemson goes to Louisville. Thoughts?
Give me Louisville. Their spread's only 3.
And it's a home game.
It's a home game for Louisville. I think it's a blowout, personally. I don't think this is the final nail in the coffin. I think they're honestly probably going to let him ride out the rest of the season, so whatever happens, happens. But I think if Clemson wins this game, I think maybe Dabo Swinney keeps his job.
They are 2 games away from bowl eligibility. You realize that? The first time under Dabo Swinney, except for this first year, that they didn't go to a bowl game.
I think if they can win out the rest of the season, I think Clemson gets into a bowl game, obviously. And I think Dabo Swinney keeps his job.
Well, they're not winning this game in the last game of the season, South Carolina.
I don't know. Give me Louisville.
Yeah, I'll take Louisville as well.
Next game we got is also a Friday night game. We got Minnesota at Oregon. Are we rowing the boat, or we get whatever the Ducks do?
Call me crazy. Devontae Moore is still out. I'm going to row the boat this week.
Okay.
What about you?
Give me Oregon, even though I really want to row the boat. But normally when I pick Minnesota to do this shit, they shit the bed.
Okay.
Not saying that Minnesota can't pull the upset, but it's in Oregon. That's the only reason I'm saying Oregon.
Okay. Let me do this one right here real fast, because I want to talk about the spread first and then the over-under. So you got Wisconsin at Indiana. The spread is Indiana by 29.5 on a total of 44.5 points. Your thoughts?
I think Indiana wins first off, but I don't think I think it's gonna be like 63-0.
So take the over and for them to cover, guys.
Next one up, we got Michigan going to Northwestern. As much as it hurts to say, give me Michigan, but I feel like Northwestern's one of those weird scrappy teams.
Northwestern is 5-4. Okay. 3-3 in the Big Ten.
They're fighting for a bowl game.
They're fighting for a bowl game. Give me Northwestern to upset Michigan.
All right.
Next on the list, we got South Carolina at Texas A&M.
Now call me crazy.
Okay, crazy.
Do I think it's actually going to happen? But I'm going to say it out loud. No. Give me South Carolina to keep this game really close, and if it's a close game, I think it's going to be South Carolina.
The total spread right now is Texas A&M by 18.5.
I got 19.5 on mine.
Okay, so over under 47.5.
48.5.
So I'm gonna take Texas A&M. I still think they're the real deal. Undefeated, number 3 in the country. I think they beat South Carolina, but I don't think it's easy.
I think it's a close game.
Yep. Give me Texas A&M 35, South Carolina 29.
So you got that a little bit closer in my mind. I got it like 28-24.
Okay.
Next game up on the docket, at least it's kind of a big game. Number 10 Notre Dame goes to number 24 Pitt.
Yeah, did you see?
Give me Pitt.
Did you see? Pat McAfee tweeted out he's heading home for this week on College Game Day.
Is he?
Yeah, he's from Pittsburgh.
Oh,
that's where his parents still live.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess they just played at West Virginia.
Yep.
Did you ever hear the funny story that he told?
About Troy Polamalu?
No. About when he was a kid, they tried to surprise his mom. Him and his brother tried to surprise his mom on Mother's Day. Like, super early in the morning. And they went up there and they had, like food ready on a plate and stuff. Or, like, on one of those, like...
Oh, yeah.
Things. You know what I'm talking about. Like a platter. And they went up there and they're like, surprise! And their dad, like, army rolled out of the bed with a shotgun and pointed at him.
No.
It's fucking Pat McAfee. It's so good.
Give me Notre Dame to roll over Pittsburgh. I'm going to take this 42 to 28.
I don't know. I still got Pittsburgh. I think it's in Pitt. I think they're trying to prove something. Give me Pittsburgh. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like 35-31.
Okay. This is my game of the week this week, by the way. So number 12 Oklahoma goes to number 4 Alabama.
Ooh.
This is a 5.5, 6.5 point spread?
6 points.
Yep. Give me Oklahoma to upset Alabama for the second year in a row.
I just don't think it's happening. I think Alabama's gonna.
That's what Alabama said last year too.
I think Alabama,
they got absolutely raffle stomped.
Well, I hope I'm wrong, but I think Alabama's got this one.
Next one.
Next one, also a 2:30 game. I got number 20 Iowa at number 19 USC. USC's favored by 6.5. The total spread is 49.5 points.
Give me Iowa.
Give me Iowa.
I think this last week they proved that they can play with the big dogs. Give me Iowa. Next one.
Georgia Tech at Boston College.
Georgia Tech at Boston College. Spread opened up at 16.5, 58.5 over under. Give me Georgia Tech by 20.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Give me Georgia Tech by a lot. Next one we got is UCF traveling down to Lubbock to play number 8 Texas Tech. Texas Tech's favored by 24 points. The spread is 47.5. Give me the Red Raiders.
Yeah, give me Red Raiders to absolutely mollywop this Saturday.
Your next game's either Virginia at Duke or North Carolina State at Miami. I'm just going off times.
So NC State at Miami. Miami opened up as a 15.5 point spread, 55.5 over under. You know what? Give me Miami by 20.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Miami's got that one.
Yeah. 7-2 versus 5-4 NC State. I don't think NC State makes bowl eligibility this year.
Maybe.
They got to play North Carolina at the end of the year, and I know that's
a rivalry.
yeah.
Another one, next one up on the docket, we got number 14, Virginia, after losing, plays unranked Duke. Duke is favored by 6.5.
Oh, that's because it's a home game and Virginia just lost.
Give me Virginia. I think they're going to be pissed.
I think give me Virginia. I think Virginia's already bowl eligible, ranked number 14 in the nation. I think they cruise to a victory this week. Give me Virginia 35, Duke 21.
The next one is New Mexico State at Tennessee.
You know what? Call me crazy, but give me Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. The favored by 40 points. Yeah.
I think it's the highest point spread I've seen in week 11 of college football.
It's the highest this week, and the second highest is a 6:30 game. But we're not there yet.
Give me Tennessee. Next game on the docket, we got Florida at number 6, Ole Miss. They got Ole Miss is favored by 15.5. Over under 54.5. You know what? Give me Ole Miss to cover the spread. I think that this game is going to be a 20-6 game.
If this game was in Florida, I'd say give me Florida. But it's not. It's in Oxford. Give me Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Or Ole Miss, my bad.
Next one?
We got Purdue at number 23, Washington. Give me Washington. I'm not even going to read the spread.
What? Purdue just got their 8th loss of the season, or 2-8. I don't think Purdue can come back in the next 3 years with a roster that is going to be able to compete in the Big Ten.
No.
Next one is Utah at Baylor. So Baylor needs to win this game and the next game to be bowl eligible. Thoughts?
I don't think it's happening this week.
I don't think it's happening either. I have Utah. Give me Utah by 10 to cover the spread. I'm gonna take 28 to 14.
I could dig it. Our 6:30 games. I'll give one, and then I'll give you the other obvious one.
Alrighty.
Big game.
Big game.
6:30. We got number 11, Texas, going to number 5, Georgia. Georgia's favored by 6 points. Now, is this a make or break game for Texas?
I think this
so.
is a make or break game for Steve Sarkisian.
I think this is a make or break game. Texas hasn't shown me anything this year. Georgia's kind of been iffy for some of their games.
If Steve Sarkisian doesn't win, that means he has 3 Georgia losses in a year and a half.
So, that being said, I don't think it's changing this game. It's in Athens. Between the hedges. Give me the Bulldogs.
Call me crazy.
Crazy.
Give me Texas on a last-second field goal. I'm going to call the game 20-17.
Now, Georgia's only losses to Alabama. Texas has lost, obviously, to Ohio State and Florida.
That's it, right?
But other than that, their only big win was against, at that time, number 6 Oklahoma. And they beat number 9 Vanderbilt, but barely.
Diego Pavia, man.
I'm still gonna stand. I think Georgia puts belt to ass to this game. Texas is a good team, but
I think Texas wins. I'm gonna say 2017.
we'll see.
The other 6:30 game, UCLA travels all the way to Columbus to take on the Buckeyes.
Give me Ohio State by 40.
Ohio State opens up as a 31.5-point favorite. I think Nico, I am Lieva.
I'm going to leave you.
Yeah, I'm going to leave you. I think Nico goes back to Columbus after starting for Tennessee last year and gets his second loss in the horseshoe.
Next up on the docket is the 6:45 game. It's Mississippi State at number 22 Mizzou. I don't know. Mississippi State's been playing teams really hard this year, and this is Mizzou's 15th home game this season.
Mizzou is already bowl eligible.
I could see Mississippi State
becoming bowl eligible.
I could see them beating Missouri.
Because they only need one more win. They're 5-5.
I'm gonna probably crazy. Give me Mississippi State. I don't know. They've just been playing teams really hard this last few games, and Mizzou's kind of been not doing that.
Yeah. And then I'm going to take Mississippi State as well. Then the last game on the schedule. TCU travels all the way to Utah to take on BYU. BYU opens up as a 5.5-point favorite after losing to Texas Tech.
It's the battle of the Christian schools.
Yeah. Texas Christian University versus the power of the Mormons.
Brigham Young. I guess that's not a Christian school, but religious school.
Yeah. What do you think? 5.5-point spread, 32.5 over under.
Give me BYU.
By
30.
Think so.
TCU's been so weird this year. They don't have an offense.
Well, I have their wide receiver in fantasy, and he got 250 yards receiving in one game.
Against who?
Oh God.
Has it been a while?
It's been a minute, but he consistently gets me 30, 40 points.
Let's see. TCU has beat North Carolina, Abilene Christian. They beat SMU, lost to Arizona State, beat Colorado, lost to K-State, beat Baylor, beat West Virginia, lost to Iowa State last week. They might win. They could do it.
The week he got me 68 points. It was the week that they beat SMU 35-24. Look at that. The wide receiver, I got a wide receiver from TCU. He had the quarterback, and we both scored the same amount of points. Give me BYU. BYU will probably cover the spread. I think BYU by a touchdown. Spread's 5.5.
I'm cool with it. So that is our take for Week 12 of this college football season, and also our take on Week 11. Thank you guys so much for watching. Listen to us, the rambles of a madman and another madman. Like I say every week, if you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing. Share the video, like the video. I guess it helps with YouTube algorithms. There we go. Words are hard.
They're just constructs. They don't control us.
I can't read.
Hooked on phonics.
I'm hooked on phonics. We hope for another crazy, crazy weekend. Just because when shit happens, it makes more things to talk about.
Yeah.
When all the big teams win, you're just like, whatever. But we're hoping for some shenanigans this weekend. And if you guys, again, if you haven't already, please consider joining the Discord. I believe there is a never expiring link in the description. Join that. Join us for our discussions. We haven't really had any discussions because no one talks in there. But if you have a game you want us to talk about, we'll talk about that game.
Yeah.
If you got a certain player you want us to talk about, we'll talk about that player. We'll do our research and we'll figure out everything about them that we know that's available. But that all being said, thank you guys again so much for watching. And I'm Jacob.
I'm Dan.
Let's exit this huddle.